Twit. Put that twit out.
I did. Oh, man.
Oh.
Sorry.
Just a little drum breakdown there.
I like it. You know, it's Friday. Feeling good.
Oh, dude, I'm glad it is.
I know.
Week was long.
We don't get a lot of Friday podcasts, and so it's nice because, you know, none of us have to really worry about got to get out of here.
Get a little bit more fresh.
A little more fresh, a little more.
I don't know if fresh is the term.
That's not it, but, you know, I ran with it to kind of preserve your credibility.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then I ruined it.
Yeah, well,
That's what I do.
you know,
Ruining rainbow.
What are you going to do?
what are you gonna do? We can go live whenever you want. I don't care. Or we can hit it whenever you want.
Ooh, this thing changed. That's weird.
Oh no! Don't be pulling. You can't be doing that right before we go into it.
Last second changes.
Yeah, you should.
Who we got in there waiting?
This is a couple
Oh, we got
folks.
some folks. How you guys doing tonight? How are you guys, Boston?
No.
Not Boston.
No, there's none of those.
Wherever you guys are.
All right. You want to do the deal?
Yeah, sure.
Here we go.
It's Thunderheads with Brandon Soul, Rob Larson, Justin Wright, and the dark and stormy Jason Lewis.
We got Manny in with us again for the second straight week.
He's a trooper, man.
He is. You know, it's just he's reliable. Can't knock him for
Always
that.
there when you need him.
He is.
That's
He's
what
already
I've always said about him.
He's already locked and loaded for some takes, ready to fire him away. Everyone walked in with a smile today. It's a good time to be a Thunder fan.
Yes.
Damn right.
And it feels good to hear you say that.
Yeah, so we got smiles on our faces. Justin's got a fresh cut from Scissors and Scotch.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Go see them. Get one for yourself. And we're smiling because of that 7-game win streak. 4 of which.
Say it again one more time.
7-game win streak.
7.
7 games?
Hard to imagine that coming, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, we are
0-4,
right? Yeah.
Started the season 0-4, haven't lost since.
Third team in NBA history, I think, to go 0-4 and then
Wow, really?
win like 5 straight or something like that.
Good stat.
One of those.
The rare good stat from Jason Lewis.
I pull them out every once in a while. Also, I like how I just didn't remember the end of it. I was like,
You just dribble off a little bit.
They're the first one to win a bunch of games after losing a bunch of games.
Yeah.
4 of those wins came in back-to-back situations, 2 of which without Russell Westbrook. This is fun, guys.
Surprising.
We're going to talk about all this. Are you guys, I want to ask you, are you more productive after like a Big Thunder win? Like, say you go to work today. Are you more productive after a Big Thunder win of last night, or are you less productive?
Less.
Yeah?
I'm going to go less.
Because you're just like too all over the place, a little too happy.
Watching highlights, looking up stats.
Yeah, we should make a poll for this.
I like that.
Yeah. Throw it out there.
Yeah, it's just too time-consuming for my part. But maybe someone can do it.
I don't have the damn login.
We got a lot to talk about today, including I wanted to bring this up because it seems appropriate right now, given the win over the Rockets, what life is with Andre Roberson is going to be like. So we're going to get into that. Terrance Ferguson making us and really everyone eat crow, and some interesting Paul George statistics, and a new game. It's probably be delightfully stupid. Just kind of like what we do.
As is tradition.
Right. We want to welcome in the YouTube live crowd, the Twitch crowd, the Periscope crowd, all of you. Thanks for joining us. We go live for all of these podcasts, not the Aftershocks, but all of these podcasts. So go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. We're new to Twitch, so subscribe, help our numbers get up there. You can get in touch with the show at OKC Thunderheads on Twitter. Justin's over at ThunderTie. You can peep his new Twitter name. I think he changed it.
Yep.
You gonna implement that new revolving Twitter name?
Yeah, so I like it. Like on Tuesday, I was voter tie because I wanted everyone to get out there and vote. Like their voice needed to be heard. And then after last night, I'm officially a T-Frick stan, so I'm a T-Frick tie now.
Love
Ooh.
it. He's
like
gonna be
it.
he's gonna be one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Just don't put the Thunder's record in it.
No, I'm not gonna do that. No.
This is a little too much. Check out OKCThunderheads.com for all the goods, including the Thunder's updated salary sheet, which is relevant because of the new options with Terrance Ferguson and the TLC stuff. Our show schedule's on there too. But you know what? Let's talk about the team now.
Ooh, let's do this.
Let's get into it. Well, actually, okay, I lied.
Oh,
Let's talk about a different team.
But yeah, before we get into our team, the Thunder, let's talk about Melo, man. He makes his return to Oklahoma City last night. 1 for 11, 2 points. Just a brutal showing in his return. He gets mostly cheers from the crowd, right? Jason, you were there. Mostly cheers, right? For
Yeah,
Melo?
I mean, there were boos. There were audible boos, but the vast majority was a nice cheer for him. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was a nice welcome back.
A game
cheer.
low, minus 22. Just, I mean, he's starting. It's starting to happen for Melo. It's happening earlier than it did last year with the Thunder, right? I mean, it started happening about halfway through the year last year, I would say. I think everyone kind of held out hope, and honestly, he played pretty well in the first running with the first part of the season with the Thunder last year.
Well, you go back to that first Warriors game,
Right.
Where Carmelo was really the driving force. Like that whole team, they came out and it seemed like everyone was on the same page. Like Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, they're both new guys, but they're like, okay, you know what? This is Russ's vendetta right here. This is the team you have to beat. So they all seemed on the same page. And then kind of around that same like Dre injury period, and then you had the All-Star break where Paul George started shooting poorly. Like that, I feel like that was kind of the turning point for Melo, where he just stopped being the Melo that we expected, and it started to be like Olympic Melo ain't walking through that door.
Yeah.
Whom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a person?
It's been a minute since I've seen that guy.
What's funny is like, I don't know. It felt like for the past few years when people have been talking about, when he was still on the Knicks and people were talking about the Knicks trading Melo, talking about, how will he do if he goes to a new team? What's the best team he can go to? Then he goes to the Thunder. We hold out hope. Every Thunder fan holds out hope. They think that he can prosper, right? Doesn't happen. Goes to Houston. Houston thinks he can prosper.
Yeah, he's there with his buddy Chris Paul, He's going to get those passes in the pocket, like in the passing pocket.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Man, he had so many good looks last night, too. It's not like he was forced. He wasn't taking bad shots. The guy was taking good shots, and he was missing.
And I was welcoming every shot.
And the sad thing is, he made one shot. It didn't even go in.
Nope.
He didn't
Goaltend.
make-
It was a
make that shot.
goaltend.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a stat that I think Justin Fan, I think is his name on Twitter, released that Melo has more misses from the field than makes, assists, rebounds, or not rebounds. I don't think rebounds was one of them. Steals, blocks, whatever. A bunch of other stats combined.
Whoa.
More misses from. There are 15 points per 100 possessions better with him off the court.
That's crazy.
He's not the guy you want if you're playing in a rotisserie fantasy basketball league. Because he ain't doing much. Well, he's
Yeah.
not doing much in standard scoring formats either.
Right. Man, I'm to the point I feel kind of sad about this. Like,
Because
and
he's a great guy.
Great guy.
Just to get that out of the way.
I couldn't have said it better. Great
Yeah.
guy. I'll try it. He's a great guy.
I mean, you said it okay.
Yeah, but no, it's a sad thing. I want to see him do well. I don't want the Rockets to do well, but I want to see Melo do well because he's a great guy. Like I don't want him to go out like this, man. It's kind of sad because last night on the TNT broadcast, Jason, you were at the game, so you missed this, and you might actually find this interesting. They were talking about how Carmelo, I think it was mostly Kenny Smith. He was talking about how he needs to just accept his bench role. And
Kenny the Jet Smith.
Kenny the Jet Smith. How he needs to accept his role and say and understand who he is as a player now. Mm-hmm. And the weird thing is that I was thinking, hasn't he? Isn't that what he actually has done?
Yeah, I think so.
So that seems unfair.
Yeah.
Now
He just can't.
He's just not good at it.
Yeah.
Because Kenny was saying there's not a someone on a second string on any team in the league that can check Melo consistently up the court, which I still almost feel like is probably true. Like if you get Melo in his spots, it seems like it's true. But the more you watch him, the more it's just like almost proving you wrong. What is it? Is he done? Is Melo done?
I feel like he should just go ahead and maybe hang it up.
But
it's sad. It's kind of sad.
Sad. What
It's
a
little
sad,
man.
I almost feel like this part of his career will overshadow the good part of his career as far as his legacy goes.
I don't know. I mean, there's players that have gone on. I mean, like Michael Jordan. That was only like a year, but because this has gone on for a while now.
But Michael
And
Jordan
he's
won
not-
6 championships.
He's not Michael Jordan. But
I mean, yeah.
Let's just go ahead and forget I said that.
Yeah. Wow, good input by Jason there. No, I mean, I think I understand what you're saying. People forget.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's the Brett Favre thing. Where he even went to other teams. He went to the Jets and was like, "This isn't good."
But the deal is that's 1 or 2 seasons,
right?
Like, we're talking multiple seasons
years.
now for Melo, and we're talking about like kind of drama, which honestly isn't drama caused by him. And Royce Young wrote that article I think yesterday or the day before, in collaboration with Tim McMahon, I believe, and it said something about how Melo. People around Oklahoma City in the organization and around the organization thought that he was actually too casual in his approach. He just kind of felt like it'll work out instead of working at it or like really saying like, which like almost in one way is like credit to Melo. Like he believes he's just chill. He's not causing drama in the locker room, but in the other way, it's like, yeah, but we need you to work at it with us.
Do you think maybe his ego got a little out of hand at some point down the road, and maybe he was just like, I am so good that things will just work for me, and then he stopped doing the work part of it?
I think that started when he was in Denver going to New York, where he realized, and granted, back then, he was good enough to have that kind of idea about him. But, you go back to the Shawshank Redemption, like Brooks, how like the world went and got itself in a damn hurry. That's kind of what's happened to Melo in the NBA. Things have it's kind of like going the mid '90s, late early 2000s, where big men kind of started to see the drop in prevalence. You had Shaq, but like no other guys were really the man. It started to become a shooting league. That's kind of what's happening to Melo, but it's all fast paced, and he's just being left in the dust on these quick moving teams.
Because Melo at his height, I mean, he's coming on the heels of Allen Iverson's, Kobe Bryant's, who was, Kobe was so good at what he did. So Melo was never as good at what he did as what Kobe was at what Kobe did. But, even Dwayne Wade played a little bit like that. But Dwayne Wade's been able to adapt a little bit more. Tracy McGrady, players like that kind of lived in the mid-range and were able to just rise up and score that way. But yeah, you're right. The league is leaving him behind. I mean, is there a situation in the league that he can flourish? Is there a single situation? Is this first of all, when I saw his numbers yesterday before the game, they were better than I thought they would be. They were like, I think he was averaging 13 or 14 points a game on 44% shooting. That's all down the toilet right now after last night. I mean, he killed himself statistically. Last night. Is there a situation that he can? Is Golden State the only one? Like, I feel like he could go to Golden State and probably play well.
Well, yeah, because it'd be hard not to.
Yeah, I mean, Golden State just brings up G League guys, and they play well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of one at all that, like, you would just trust that it would work. Maybe he would go somewhere and it would end up panning out, and maybe I don't want to even try saying that anymore.
Oh, no. What are you going to say?
I was going to say maybe it'll end up working out in Houston, but it probably is.
Maybe it will. We're early.
It's still early.
Houston's really struggling. It is pretty crazy,
but
though.
Damn, dude, they look bad.
They look so bad.
They scored 80 points in a game.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think 3 straight games for Houston, they haven't gone over 100.
Yeah.
That's unheard of last year.
Yeah, they were so much better last. I don't understand.
It seems like they're just like everyone's on to them the way they play, kind of. And when you don't, like, they had a lot of good looks that they just didn't make last night. But Trevor Ariza makes those threes. James Ennis probably not. He's not making them. Know, Carmelo Anthony's damn sure not making them. That's a good sign for the Thunder, man. Like this, when you watch that Rockets team last night, which that's a perfect segue. I mean, how good are the Thunder? How good? 7 in a row. You lose your first 4. They're winning in ways that other teams aren't winning. Maybe Boston a little bit wins in a similar fashion that the Thunder do.
Yeah.
But Boston's a lot easier to believe how good they are because of what their roster looks like on paper, right? When you have
they
Kyrie,
look super deep. They've got
Jason
Terry
Tatum,
Rozier
Horford,
a bench player, like
Gordon Hayward's like their 5th option or whatever. They have all these guys. Where the Thunder, they're still kind of making names for themselves. Most people aren't really believers of Russell Westbrook and Paul George, Steven Adams, Dennis Schröder even. They're playing well, though. How good is this team, Justin?
It's so hard to tell. Like, the 7-game win streak is awesome, especially for the fans, but
especially after the start we had.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can actually glean from this team. It's still the first week of November.
Yeah, right.
It's really hard to decide like where they actually are at as far as their development. But the thing is, the way this team is built and the way they've played during the 7-game win streak is exactly what they want to do, and they can only get better. They're not going to shoot the lights out all the time. In fact, they're going to shoot poorly more often than not. But the way that they're built is to play defense, be really stingy, force you into turnovers, make shots when they can, and push the pace. If that's the way that they're going to win, and they're getting wins now, they can only improve on that, and that makes them look really, really good. And it looks like it's a higher ceiling than maybe we even thought.
And I said it at the top. I mean, 2 of these wins came on the second nights of back-to-backs. And last night, they played a lot better than they did the night before against Cleveland,
Right.
Which is impressive. I mean, you go to Cleveland, and then you come home to play on the second night of a back-to-back against a team that is the Rockets team that they'd won 2 in a row against the Bulls and the Pacers on the road, which is a good win.
Yeah.
They feel like maybe they're on something. They didn't play real well in either game, but their defense hasn't been horrible, I guess. They definitely weren't bad in the 2 games prior. When you win that game, not just barely, you kick their ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird coming from that barely
without
beating
Russell
Cleveland.
Westbrook.
Like, it was a weird, ugly win against Cleveland, and you're like, I don't feel great about this Houston situation without Russ.
There's a different energy around this team right now.
Yeah.
Than we've seen since Kevin Durant left. That's for sure, right? I mean, definitely not last year.
No,
I mean,
absolutely not.
There was a fun energy the year after KD left, Russ's MVP season, but it was a fun energy because Russ was so incredible.
Yeah.
It wasn't a collaborative effort, it didn't feel like, and right now it feels like there's so many pieces that are contributing at a high level.
They look confident and they look happy. They look like they're having fun.
They look like a
Going
team.
out, yeah.
Like, that's all of last year. I mean, several years now. You watch this team and then you go watch 2 other teams play and you're like, why don't we play basketball like that? Like, why aren't we ever passing or doing any of those things?
How many times last year did we talk about why doesn't this team have fun?
much.
They aren't smiling. They never smile or anything.
Yeah, and there was no movement, there's no anything. And then now you start to watch them and there's stuff happening. There's actions, there's people, like, everyone's touching the ball offensively. There's not somebody that's just sitting there frozen out. Like, maybe sometimes Terrence doesn't touch it that often, but I mean, we'll get to him in a bit.
We'll get into him.
Because
last year they were in line at the DMV. This year they're in line for a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It looks so much different, and it's a lot more. Hell, it's a lot more fun as a fan.
I like roller coasters a lot more than the DMV. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say, so kind of just looking back at the last 2 games, it's a really interesting microcosm because I think, especially for this team in this 7-game win streak, you've got 2 really interesting things that happen. You've got that Cavs game where you had to slug it out. It was ugly. It was hard to watch. Nothing was going right for either team. It was just you were trekking through the mud there trying to get to the finish line.
You were a Paul George drive to the basket for a game.
Yeah. The Thunder found a way to struggle through and win that game. They did what they had to get that win and get the hell out of Cleveland. And then the next night, you turn it up. You've got all 4 burners on, and you really kick a good team right in the fucking teeth. That was awesome. That's a great thing to see. In back-to-back nights, you have to win ugly sometimes in this league, and then to turn around and not let that get you down and go out and play a really solid game and beat a team that you have to beat. That's awesome, and that's great for this team.
I 100% agree. And that's the thing that we haven't seen from this team is, in the past, is beating these teams in an ugly victory. Last year, you take that Cavs game, we lost the shit out of that game. That's gone.
Yeah. And then we're all sitting here talking about angry, like, what? Why? Why did they lose that game? Like,
right.
They don't even look like they want to win that game, but they won that game the other night.
Yeah, I think you said it on the Aftershock. Neither team wanted to win that game, which is so correct.
Yeah. I mean, that was an ugly game, but you're right. That's dead on. They end up winning. They end up winning by 9. They didn't just win by 2. They didn't just, I don't know, just lackadaisically somersault their way into a victory. Like, they pulled it out, and they did what they had to do, holding the 80s. To have 2 games consecutively in today's NBA where you hold a team to 86 points and then you hold a team to 80 points.
It's impressive as hell.
Yeah.
Because I think Boston, there was an article today kind of about their defense, and it was talking about it was about the scoring in the league and everything, and it was saying like, you know, the best defense in the league right now is averaging like holding opponents to 100 points per game. Like us doing that 2 consecutive games, that is insane right now.
I think 80 points is the fewest points scored by any NBA team this season.
Damn.
Also, but I think that's where you can, if you want to play devil's advocate and you want to come in and say, I'm not a believer yet, because they're not winning games with offense. They're not just wowing team. They're not wowing you if you're watching. They're not saying, "Oh my God, this what a display by the Thunder tonight." They did a little bit against Washington, but it's Washington.
That was pretty cool, though.
Now, last night's game against the Rockets was played, I tweeted this out, was played at a 91.1 pace. There was 91 possessions in that game, which is about as slow as you'll see this season, I would bank on. I don't know why. I mean, I know a lot of that is the way the Rockets play and everything. And a lot of the, Thunder playing through Steven Adams, which we'll get into too. Just kind of dumping it down there and just seeing things through. I think that's where you could say, I'm not quite yet a believer because they don't shoot the ball well. There's going to come a time that teams are going to adjust and force them to shoot the ball, and are they going to be able to overcome that? But then, God, the defense, man, they're up to, I think, 3rd in defensive rating, and this is without your very best defensive player. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's... We don't know what Roberson's going to be like when he comes back. We don't know.
Yeah, it's impossible to tell.
Let's talk about that right now. So let's just pretend that he's going to be Andre Roberson. I think it's probably not fair to say he's going to be at the level that he's been at immediately. Yeah. But let's just say he gets there. What's this team look like? I mean, are they just exactly what we're watching right now during the 7-game win streak, but just even more brute, even more, how do you score? Like, if you're the opponent, like, what do you do? Steals. This team right now is leading the league in steals and points off turnovers, and Andre Roberson is a huge part of that also.
I mean, I think the defense gets better. I really do. It seems, I mean, when you're 4th or whatever, like, it's hard to imagine that, but I think he makes, if he comes back 95% of himself, this team automatically gets better defensively. Yeah. There's no question about it. And honestly, it might get better offensively with him being able to move the ball. And if he can step in and do what he was doing already last year, and it might take him a couple weeks, whatever. But if he can kind of do that, the cutting to the basket thing, moving around, moving the ball, I don't see it getting worse.
Shouldn't. And that goes back to a point that you made. How everyone's touching the ball, how everyone's getting involved. With this new starting lineup of Jeremy Grant in there, and obviously with the way that Ferguson played, and again, we're going to talk about that. The confidence, and credit to Billy Donovan, man. They're not just... Russell Westbrook doesn't play, and so you have to get a little more creative, for sure, offensively. And this team is scoring over 100 points if Russell Westbrook plays. Believe me, they're going to. He helps the offense so much. But mixing it up and dumping it down to Adams and playing through Adams. Getting PG off various screens and getting him shots off dribble handoffs or whatever. And then later in the game, I tweeted it out. I said, I'd like to see Donovan get Grant going right now.
Sure enough.
Right then, he starts getting Grant going, like possession after possession.
He's following the Twitter feed.
He does it 4 possessions in a row, and he's just mixing it up. And it looks a lot better because the Rockets just didn't look very good, so it helps. The Rockets didn't adjust very well, and Donovan just said, I'm going to do the same thing over and over until you figure it out. And you can't. It's not like the Thunder offense was some juggernaut last night, but they did what they had to do to win the game. And if Andre Roberson comes back, he helps that ball movement. He's a good player that knows you're not scared to use him as a middleman, even like if you pass him the ball and rely on him to get the ball to the next guy or whatever.
A really cool thing about Andre Roberson, like one of the reasons why he's so good at defense and clogging those passing lanes, it kind of works on the offensive end because he knows where those passing lanes are, and so he's got really great court vision on that offensive side, so he absolutely helps the ball swing around. He can see a guy on the backside that most guys wouldn't see, especially a guard that has no business being on the offensive floor. At least that's kind of the narrative that he has. He sees that guy. He knows how to make that pass. He knows how to get it into Steven Adams when he's open. He's not a ball stopper.
He's definitely not. Yeah. He's made it a point to not be a ball stopper. Now, the thing you worry about with Andre Roberson is when he does start putting the ball on the floor, which he's a reliable guy when he puts the ball on the floor, And like you said, making the right pass. If he gets fouled, is he going to be able to make a free throw? Can he shoot his free throws? This is a team that already struggles at the line. But I guess on the flip side, might as well talk about it. Terrance Ferguson, man, he's getting better before our eyes. I think last night against the Rockets was his best game as a pro.
Yeah.
By far.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and you can. There might be people out there screaming at us right now. What about the Lakers game? You know, he scored 24. Yeah, no, that was impressive. He hits a lot of threes, 6 threes in that game, I believe. This game was so well rounded. I mean, he's guarding James Harden a lot of the time.
Can I just bring something up right here?
You sure can.
James Harden had 3 free throw attempts last night. That only happened 6 times last year.
Wow.
3 free throws or less last year.
2 good stats, 1 pod.
Also,
Jason.
Boom. Killing it.
Not only is that 3 free throws, but that's 3 free throws in the NBA where we've seen fouls way up.
Right.
We've seen guys be able to draw shooting fouls a lot more often.
And who better to do that than the James Harden?
And not only was he not drawing fouls, but he was also, the refs were keen to his moves now. They were seeing some of him grabbing defenders and trying to draw the foul, and they're like, no, that's on you, bro.
Got called for one of those last night. Yeah, man.
He did end up with 4 personal fouls. Terrence did.
Oh, well.
But
yeah,
still,
gonna happen.
It's going to happen,
Still.
yeah. The way he was playing, like he had some one-on-one possessions where it was so impressive. He, early in that game, the way the Thunder started against Houston was big. They start going to Adams because they got Harden on a mismatch. And clearly that was Houston's game plan.
What was that?
Switch everything.
I think they were
they
said, you know what, they switch everything and they're going to dare go ahead. Give it to Adams. I mean, they talked to D'Antoni after the first quarter and D'Antoni, that's not going to hurt us. It ended up killing you.
Oh, yeah.
It ended up which D'Antoni was like, well, I mean, he's a pretty good player. Like, what are you going to do? So D'Antoni was
Don't
acknowledging
put Harden on him.
Don't put a
Maybe.
6'5" guy on him.
I think D'Antoni was saying we'll take getting beat there if we're covered up everywhere else. But man, Adams did I think he scored a couple times and then the next time Terrance Ferguson makes a beautiful back cut, a la Andre Roberson, to the basket. And Adams just a nice little dump over pass. Man, Adams just consistently making the right play last night, and that might be something we're not talking about enough. Is
He had
how
4 assists last night.
how good Steven Adams is becoming on the offensive end as far as.
Just passing out of the post.
Yeah, is that something that we're going to see going forward, like more often? I know that you always have better options on the court when you have Russell Westbrook and Paul George healthy, but that's not about an option, right?
It kind of feels like something you don't expect from him, like for the other team. You know, I mean, obviously they're going to start watching it, but
Yeah, and he's not always the most confident guy either in there with the ball.
yeah, that's true.
I think that his ability to well, one, he's just getting better every single game. But that answers the question that you brought up earlier. Can the team sustain this? Is this something that, like, when defenses figure out what to do, what are they going to? Well, Steven Adams learning how to pass and having that court vision, that's how they get out of it. That's how they continue to dump it in. They try and double Steven Adams. Steven Adams hits that cutter. That's how you destroy defenses. I don't care
if he's
how
pulling
you
a
game
double,
plan. I don't.
That's bad news for them.
I don't
Agreed.
care how you game plan
Yeah.
for that. If Steven Adams can pass, you've got a bunch of guys that can move the ball around, that can get downhill and cut. Oh, good luck.
It was watching the very beginning of that game last night. I knew that the Thunder. I felt like I knew the Thunder were going to play well because they just kept making the right play to start. Like every single possession, they were making the right play.
The first 6 or 7 possessions was like, this is perfect.
And after Adams was killing them both, in the post and on the boards after the first 5-6 possessions, Paul George and Steven Adams had a little pick and roll action. Adams rolls at the basket. They get the switch, and Houston's totally anticipating the ball going into Adams again. Paul George hits him with one little dribble and pulls up for the shot, and I was like, it's perfect, man. You're catching the entire defense off balance. He knocks it down. Then Paul George proceeds to brick like 8 in a row.
Yeah, that was a little scary.
And then he has a monster second quarter, which we also have to talk about. Like, we're bringing up all these things we have to talk about.
I feel like we've got so many things that we need to talk about, but we can't. Like, we almost get on one thing,
Sidetracked.
and they're like,
That's
"Oh
okay.
yeah, we have to talk about this too."
Well, where do we want to start here? Because I kind of want to go to the Paul George thing.
I like it.
All
Let's
right.
go for it.
Let's get in there.
The offense fell apart with him off the court.
Yep.
You look at the box score. He's 7 for 21. He only scores 20 points on 21 shots. But check this out, man. 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals. The dude is everywhere. And I think it's those assists that I look at that I'm like, that's
some stuff we didn't get last year, for sure.
yeah, and if Billy, Raymond Felton has to be the backup point guard, but he's not, Paul George isn't on the court, Raymond Felton's on the court. Dennis Schröder's not on the court, when Raymond Felton's on the court, there's not a lot of ball movement. There's not a lot of playmaking. Just the fact that you have Paul George being able to make plays the way he is so far this year is huge. I have some stats for you right here. Let me
I
get
like
some.
stats.
Obviously,
Stats are fun.
keep in mind how many games? 11 games in, and 4 of these games have been without Russell Westbrook, so that's going to impact them to a degree. Paul George's assist percentage last year, meaning what percentage of his possessions ended with him getting an assist? 14.3 last year, 18.3 this year. It's up 4%. Assists to turnover last year, 1.24 assists to turnover ratio. This year, 1.47. His usage percentage is up 3% from last year. Obviously, that has something to do, but that just shows like he's being utilized more and he's making it count.
Right.
And this is happening while he's not shooting the ball well. Imagine once this guy starts shooting the ball well, because you guys believe that he will, right? He's going to start shooting the ball well.
I would be shocked if he didn't. That would be very strange
Yeah.
to me.
I'll go a little bit of a different direction.
Oh, no.
I think part of it is a function of him not shooting the ball well. I do think he's going to shoot the ball better. Like, don't get me wrong.
You think that might take away from this other side of
But
what we're seeing that's working?
I think that right now he's kind of figuring out, like, look, something, maybe it's my foot, maybe it's my elbow. I don't know what it is. I'm having a hard time shooting the ball. It's on me as the second guy, like as the secondary leader of this team, to make the right plays for my team. And so I think he stepped his game up and, like, you know what? Maybe I'm not making these shots. Maybe I'll find a way to distribute better and do the little things. Like, I already know I can play great defense, and he does consistently, and that gets him going a lot. But now it's like, okay, I've got my defense going. I'm not getting it on the offensive end. Let me do these other things. Let me make that extra pass.
Yeah.
Let me get in there, mix it up for a rebound. Maybe that'll get my shot going. Maybe that gets my confidence going. Maybe I feel a little bit better. I think it really is a function right now of him realizing, I'm just not making shots. Let me do the other things.
And he's putting so much trust into his teammates. Like that's huge. This team is constantly making the right kick out. They're making the right pass. And that right kick out sometimes is to Jeremy Grant for a wing 3, and you don't have much faith in that going in. But guess what? You have a monster inside, Steven Adams, that gobbles up rebounds.
Tip it right back in.
Yeah, I said it on the Aftershock the other night. That's how you play efficient basketball without shooting the ball efficiently.
Mm-hmm. I think that comes from a year of just Paul George being in the system. And I think if you want to, like, really look at something that Billy Donovan does that's really unsung, is the fact that Paul George is having this comfortability in an offense that not great at moving the ball, but the fact that he knows where guys are and he knows how to make that play, I think that speaks to a Billy Donovan system, because you have, like, okay, yeah, this guy's going to be here when I do this.
And then you have Russell Westbrook on the sideline coaching it up. Like,
cool.
which is interesting to me. Like, it almost makes me feel awkward because they're, like, putting such a huge spotlight on Russ on the sidelines. Hey, look what he did in the huddle. Like, the board is in Billy Donovan's hands, yet Russ is taking the pieces and moving them around. Like, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I had the thought go through my mind, like, is that annoying to Billy Donovan? Is Billy Donovan like I'm the coach here, dude? Get him. But I don't think it is. Like, I clearly don't. Like, I
think Billy likes that kind of thing.
And you can't
him being engaged is what you want.
You can't publicly talk about how cerebral a player is like Russell Westbrook, which he's done on a number of occasions.
Right.
You can't do that. You can't just sit there and tout his basketball knowledge and this and that, and then go against that. And he's just being the lead cheerleader over there, man. He's all for this team.
So amped up.
And it's not just that. It's when he's played this year. You've seen it. You've seen the trust he's putting in the teammates. You've seen the patience he's had with his teammates and getting those guys going.
Yeah, like, that's a great point. Like, you haven't seen the games like in years past where, say, he's passing it to guys and they're not hitting something or they're not making the right decision, and he just goes, never mind, you're done.
Rogue.
It's my time.
Yeah.
And he just goes Russ, like,
which that also will probably happen at one point.
It's going to happen at some point.
It's Russell Westbrook.
I won't be surprised if, like, and I want him to take over games at some point. That's
sure.
You want that to happen.
He has to take over games.
He is that guy. He's still that guy.
Oh,
Who's that guy? He's that guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's that guy?
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely still that guy.
Yeah, but I mean, it is. I think it speaks to his growth is that he's really trying to get other people engaged. He's even talked about trying to do that. I think that's a big thing. What you were talking about is like Paul George's leadership. He is trusting other guys, and they're really trying to be a cohesive team, unlike last year where it was like those 3 guys and then everybody else. Right now, it's we're all just in this together, which I really like.
Every offseason, we always talk about Russell Westbrook. Like, how does he get better? How does he shoot better? Like, what does he work on? This offseason, something that we never talked about was him being a leader. Him like being vocal, being what this team needs to as far as leadership. Because before it was, hey, I'm going to run through this brick wall. All you guys follow me. Now he's not only running through the brick wall when he can, but he's teaching other guys how to run through that brick wall.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's impressive what we're seeing out of him on the sideline, and it goes back to what we said at the beginning. I mean, this team is having fun right now. And it's everywhere. It's not just on the court. It's not just on the bench while the team is performing well on the court, them supporting their teammates. It's on social media.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing this everywhere. If you follow Dennis Schröder on Instagram
that dude
or whatever,
is posting constantly about this team.
If anyone had any doubt that all that guy wants to do is win, and
go look at his
Instagram. Like, this guy's thrilled, man. He's posted, got this win for you, Russ. Things like that. Like, he's a team player. You see him on the bench at times where how many minutes did he play last night? Should have played 34 minutes. There was a moment it was either last night or in the Cavs game where he was on the bench and I was surprised. It's a terrible explanation by me, but there was a moment where he was on the bench and I was just surprised to see him on the bench. And I was just wondering, like, is this kind of irritating him a little bit? No, it's not, man. Like, last night, 34 minutes in a game that Russell Westbrook doesn't play. He takes 12 shots. Goes 6 for 12. I mean, he's got a shooting percentage up around 43.
Picked his spots.
That is
He's
nice.
picking his spots. He's not forcing anything. He's not playing like he's the only guy that can do anything.
And for everybody freaking out about his 0 assists with Cleveland, he had 5 last night. It's not incredible or anything, but it is something.
Right. I mean, especially when Paul George has 6.
Yeah.
Steven Adams has 4.
I feel like the Cavs game was like a weird outlier because you had mentioned this in the Aftershock too about, like, I mean, in all the games he's had a decent number of assists. Like, it's not like he doesn't move the ball at all.
Yeah, no one made any shots. Also,
he is obviously a scorer for his point guard.
Yeah,
and that's what he's going to try to do
which is also
his
great
skill set. Yeah, it's perfect.
Because this team needs scoring.
Yeah, and
that's what we're used to.
Yeah,
we've got Russ.
Yeah, so you kind of swap out the same thing for the same thing.
Yeah, and you look at the field goal attempts last night: 21 for George, 12 for Adams, 12 for Schröder, 10 for Ferguson, 9 for Felton, only 5 for Grant. I'd like to see that number come up. But how many games last year did we have where 22 for Russ, 22 for Paul George, 20 for Melo, and then no one else over 6?
Yeah.
You know, like so many games like that.
Also, don't write off the Grant being a low number because Jeremy Grant's been so great at his shot attempts don't end up on the stat sheet sometimes because he gets fouled. Because he's so long, he's so lanky, he draws contact so well. So a lot of those shot attempts aren't even going to show up. Like he probably had a good 4 others that just don't show up on the box score because he was fouled and went to the line.
So a T from YouTube did point out Schröder had 5 assists and 6 turnovers.
That's
which
true.
Doesn't look great.
Just ignore that part.
He also said, should Raymond Felton be forced to eat an apple for every bad shot and turnover?
You know what? I
don't think he likes apples.
I
so
almost
like
ripped Raymond Felton last night before he started playing well.
Yeah,
and I was like,
weird.
thank God I didn't. He had a good game last night. 5 for 9 from the field, 10 points. Like, Raymond Felton, I'll give him this. He's not scared. He has the ability to be a spark. Now, you don't want to have to rely on him. You do not. But he can make a shot.
Yeah.
Like, he can pull up from his stupid sweet spot from 20 feet out and take what looks like a terrible shot and make it. Like, he can do that. So you got to give that to Felton.
It looks flat, and then it tickles the twine. And you're like, wait, what?
okay.
He had a step back in Melo's face last night.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I mean,
feel good.
Not for Melo. Like
that poor guy.
I don't know. Is there a game? And I don't want to pile on, man.
Get back to this
but is there a game in Melo's career that felt worse than that? God, that did
probably not.
That probably didn't feel good on national TV. Making your return to Oklahoma City, want to show like, hey, this is the actual right situation for me. Oh man,
oof.
Step back, Raymond Felton, in your eye.
Oh no,
that just is what punctuates.
That's just what's repeating in his head all day today.
While
I feel good. I feel bad for him.
While you're continually not seeing the ball go in the bucket.
Yeah.
So I got a
Not
question
one
for you
time.
guys. So we've talked about Terrance Ferguson. We've talked about Steven Adams. We've talked about Paul George. We've talked about Dennis Schröder. If you were to give out the game ball for last night, for that Rockets game, Because if you include the Cavs game, I know who it's going to at that point. But if you're going to give out the game ball just for that Rockets game, who are you giving it to?
It's good. It's
out of
tough.
those 4 guys.
It's actually tough.
That is really hard, actually. Like a part of me just wants to give it to Terrence because he's been struggling so hard, and
If you're the coach, you give it to Terrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not the
think so.
coach.
I'm not the coach.
Yeah, you're not even close.
Yeah. I'm torn between Steve and Terrence. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, my first instinct was Steven Adams because of his boys early on. He's what got this team going. He set the tone for the night. But seeing how that team just fell apart with Paul George off the floor, and he's a plus 35 in the game, a game high by far. Like he made all the difference in the
almost
world.
had a quadruple double if he had 4 more assists, 4 more steals.
So close.
So close.
To it. As close to a quadruple double as you are to the Thunder's coaching position.
I'd say I'm closer than that.
Not often do you see a
say he was
player go
closer.
7 for 21 and have such a massive impact on the game. That's what he did, man. So I'm torn between Adams and where do you go on this, Justin?
Well, so just based on what
Felton?
a lot.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
For us.
That's actually kind of a not a bad one. So I think it's expectation versus what actually happened. Your expectations, especially after the way you started the season, so low. I think you have to go with Terrence Ferguson.
Yeah.
The
It's
guy
fair.
last night, the
I was
guy
right. That's
showed
what he said.
the guy showed why he's a starter. He finally proved look, this is what the coaches have been seeing day in and day out at practice.
Yeah.
This is why I'm out here. And he finally proved it. I think he had a chip on it, not a chip, but just had something like a monkey
edge
on his
to it.
back.
Yeah.
Well, no, what he got the chip on his shoulder, but he had this monkey on his back that he just had to shed. And he was just like, look, I'm a professional basketball player. I'm on this roster for a reason. I'm a starting for a reason. Now, granted, Andre Roberson's out, but they chose me for this. I have to go prove it. And he went out and proved it.
And it's a big game. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
It's a game where
National TV rivalry.
it's a game. You're in his position. You're probably a little nervous all day. You're like, man, I got to go against James Harden today. I got to go against Chris Paul today. Like, this is not a little,
nailed it.
little tougher than going against Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton and whoever else the hell else is playing guard in Cleveland.
I hate Colin Sexton.
Did you guys notice that Chris Paul only had 0 points at the half?
Oh, dude,
That was
bad.
weird as hell.
He was real bad.
I was kind of worried when I saw that the second half he was just going
Yeah.
to light it up.
Yeah,
I was like,
no.
oh God, please don't.
Didn't.
And then he didn't.
To Ferguson, me and Rob talked about it on the Aftershock the other night, and if he stays in the rotation when Roberson comes back, and maybe I'm prisoner of the moment here, but the other night I said no. I think
You
Diallo
flip-flopping
takes
like
place.
an old Lewis?
But when you see that, Diallo's not capable of a game like that.
No, I don't think
Not
so.
not at this point in his career. Abrinas
He's useful, but he's not
Abrinas
that.
is, but in a different way. Abrinas isn't going to play the defense that Terrence Ferguson just played, but Abrinas might. Maybe Abrinas pours in 24 points, and they're big threes, and that probably makes up for what he lacks defensively. So right now, I think right. He stays in the rotation. Is that prisoner of the moment?
Maybe. I would like to see this happen more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great. 4 threes, 4 threes out of Terrence Ferguson. I'll
Yeah,
take
he
those.
shot 50% on the night. That's sweet.
If you can get 3/4 of
Yeah.
that output on a more consistent basis, that this team, especially when Dre comes back, this team can go places.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, could we just have one guy that you can rely on to consistently shoot well?
Yeah.
And if someone could do that, anyone, they're gonna.
Too much to ask, bro.
Honestly,
I think so.
I think what's good is you're seeing more contributions right now. I know they're not super consistent when Abrinas has not been very good these past couple games, but the good thing about Abrinas is that you still see the impact he makes, even when he doesn't have a good shooting game. You still see the way he stretches the floor. You still see that confidence, even though he's had some terrible bricks and even air balls these past couple games.
Yeah.
But you have options, man. You have Diallo, you have Ferguson, you have Abrinas, and when you have Robertson back, that's huge.
Well, and I would like to give it up to Billy for this.
No, we don't do that here.
Just since everybody was talking shit on him. You see Abrinas not having a great game last night. He plays 19 minutes. Terrence is having a good game. He plays 29 minutes. He's adjusting based on their performance, and if he can do that, you don't necessarily, you're kind of saying you have options there, and if you want to watch who's playing well, and you can kind of just adjust on the fly, if he'll do that, then you're okay, I think.
I smell toast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does smell like something's burning.
It's not the house, I promise.
It's probably the heater, but I was also worried that
I think
might
it's
be having
probably
a stroke.
actual toast.
I was worried
No, I
I
think
might
it
be
is.
having
You
a
started
stroke.
it before the podcast.
So look,
Loves toast.
Billy Donovan, like it's safe to say that like there was a point where he was second or maybe even first in Vegas odds as the next coach to lose his job.
Yeah.
He's not in the top 5 anymore, right?
Not after 7 in a row.
No,
Yeah,
he's. I think
That's a weird
he's-
fire.
I,
Hey, bud, here you go.
hey, the 7 in a row was great, but by no, I
Bye, and
I
then
think
just
he's
leaves.
I think he's really like resurrected like the perception of what he is, and like look as
Until
a fan,
they lose a game.
When you see his philosophies resonate and come to fruition.
As a fan, it's so easy to like when you lose, it's easy to blame the coach. When you win, it's easy to praise the players because like you're not going out and buying a suit for Billy Donovan. You're going out and buying a
would.
jersey for
This is my
for
Billy
Russell
suit.
Westbrook or
So I'm
or
wearing
Terrence,
it.
like you're buying the players. Like you want to praise them.
Let's-
So
can we make this a thing though?
Where we buy him a suit?
No, we were
Men's Warehouse.
Well,
Cheap.
no, we don't buy Billy Donovan a suit. Justin's saying you buy a player's jersey. You don't buy a coach's suit.
Yeah. But
Let's start a company where we replicate suits for
From
coaches.
coaches?
I
Want
like
this
it.
Steve Kerr suit.
yeah,
does it have their name on the back though?
no,
Print it on the inside of the
You
jacket.
would
There you
actually,
go.
yeah, you
Yeah,
would
there you
label
go.
it on the pocket.
Yeah,
but-
no one wants someone else's name on a suit, though, right? It'd be weird. It's a terrible idea.
It would be a Billy Donovan
This
series
is why I don't
suit.
start companies.
That'd be fun.
And it comes with a comb. That suit for sure comes with a comb, where you just comb your hair right back like a vampire.
Definitely comes with a gold chain.
Gold
And
chain.
probably a bat of some sort that you can take
Yeah.
somebody's knees out.
Yeah, maybe with a nail in it. I don't know. I don't know how
Could be.
far he takes it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That may be his dad.
I'm super proud of Billy Donovan, the way he's hung in there, and look, this team was fouling a bunch, and he's found a way to make sure that he's coached his guys up. They're not fouling at the rate that they were to start this season off, and they're playing better defense without fouling, and that's huge because that's how this team has to play to be successful.
I agree. I'm also proud of Steven Adams since we're doing our proud segment.
We're all so proud.
And what made me extra proud is if you were watching on TNT last night, man, that guy got so much love at halftime from Shaq
About downtown.
and Barkley, and they were just giving it up to the old school basketball that the Thunder were playing. And Shaq, I think, said at one point, he said, I just like seeing big guys play like big guys. And that's what, I mean, Steven Adams is playing like a guy
Did
from
he
the
add
90s.
Dwight Howard on that? Just say, hey,
He
bud.
didn't. He did not, but it was just cool to see them showing Steven Adams film, showing his play in
That's
the first
cool.
half, and it was just.
It's nice that he's getting recognition, like on a big
And
stage.
it's nice to watch a nationally televised game of the Thunder and not at halftime see them breaking down what's wrong with the Thunder.
Because
Yeah.
it's every time.
Yeah,
Before today,
it felt
or
like
yesterday.
at least for a while, right?
Yeah.
All right, you want to move on?
Maybe, I don't know.
We got a game.
We do have a game.
It's we just invented it. It's called the Better Game. That's what we're calling it until we have a better name. But okay, how's this gonna work? Do you have something for us? There we go. Oh,
It's a little.
it's intense. You got something
Intense.
less intense?
No, not really.
Need something more chill.
Yeah.
We'll just go back to the old faithful of this.
Okay.
Anyhow,
This isn't copyrighted, is it?
it may or may not be. Don't.
It is now that I say that.
God damn it.
Are we screwed?
No, we're fine. Keep
Okay.
going.
All right. So what we're gonna do in this game? It's called the Better Game, and we're gonna ask what the better version of a certain thing is. You'll
That's right.
you'll catch on as we go.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Jason, get us started.
All right.
However you feel.
This is
appropriate.
actually topical with what we were just going on. The better Billy. Madison or Donovan?
Ooh.
So is Billy Madison or Billy Donovan better?
To me, I feel like Billy Donovan has some work to do to get there.
Yeah, I'm for sure going Billy Madison just because it's so good.
Well, go ahead,
Are,
Justin.
are we talking about the movie or the character Billy Madison?
Ooh,
So that's the thing.
Rules.
Like, I want this.
I'll
I
defer
want
to
this-
the rules,
This cleared up for
man.
me.
Ooh, that's what.
You made this game.
That's you made that. You made that
Oh,
question
damn, you're right.
though.
Yeah, you do.
Let's go movie.
Movie. Okay, I'll give
That's what I
Billy
was
Madison the movie the edge. Billy Madison is a character.
Yeah.
Not even in the same
Donovan's way
ballpark as
better.
Billy
You're right.
Donovan.
You're right there.
But isn't the movie about the character?
Well, it is, but sure, like
Yeah, but the movie as a whole is.
yeah, it's an
Is-
enjoyable.
But what about the
experience.
movie puts it over the hump there of Billy Donovan? Puts it over the Billy
You know what?
Donovan bar.
Well, I mean, it's a great flick.
Yeah, but Billy Madison, the character, can't get there?
No, absolutely not.
He's not a very good dude.
Is it the
there is-
O'Doyle?
I mean, he's a good dude, but
If
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
kinda
sit
he
there,
poured water on a kid's pants, you know.
you're gonna sit
Helped
there
him
and
out.
tell me that for some reason that dude only has to go through a week because he's older, so that's all he gets in like every single grade and proves that he can pass it.
And Donovan's a self-made man. He didn't have a daddy who was rich, you know.
And he gets out
That's
of
a
high
good
school.
point. That's a good point.
He
That's
gets
the
out of
point.
high school and then like goes through some weird competition. Like
Yeah.
like he didn't
Also,
get
a
his
puppy
GED
who
or
lost
anything.
his way.
He didn't earn
Great
a damn
story,
thing.
though. That's a point for Billy. There.
I award you no
Madison.
points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
It's so good.
All right, I got one that Rob submitted, and it's a good one.
Larson.
Not
Alberto?
Rob Larson. He's not here tonight. Not basketball related either. The better what? Whataburger or whatchamacallit. So Whataburger is a fast food chain here in Oklahoma. If you're not familiar, if you're international or wherever,
They got burgers. They're good.
Yeah, it's kind of like this. Would you say it's like this region's In and Out?
Yeah.
Would
But
that
not as
be
good.
fair?
Oklahoma, Texas, it is the In and Out.
And then
It's better.
whatchamacallit is a chocolate candy bar that has Krispies in it.
I never one time in my life have had one of
I
those.
can't remember if it has like a wafer in it. A very good candy bar though.
Pretzels, maybe.
I'm going Whataburger on this one because I do not know what a whatchamacallit is.
If
Never
it
seen
has
one.
pretzels, I might lean whatchamacallit. Ooh,
You're out of your
pretzels.
goddamn mind.
Pretzels and chocolate. Hard to beat, man.
I'm
You
gonna
got
go-
that subtle crunch in there, but that sweet flavor on your tongue. And you just take it in.
You're getting a little too deep into
Oh,
this candy
man.
bar.
I'm starting to sweat. Starting to sweat a little. But the easy answer is Whataburger. I mean,
Yeah, so good.
but it's also such good
It's-
late night.
Yeah,
drunk
if you're
food.
a little
it's drunk
drunk,
food. Oh, it's good.
you
drunk
stop by
food.
a Whataburger on the way home. Also, their breakfast is
Yeah,
fantastic.
and they start serving breakfast at 11 p.m.
Perfect
which
time to
is
start
weird,
serving it.
Yeah.
HBCBs. You know, I've
Say
never
what?
actually had a HBCB honey butter chicken biscuit.
Never had it either.
I haven't
honey
actually,
butter
but
chicken biscuit.
I have people that swear by those.
Whataburger.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're and from what I've heard, like they're really good. But look, Whataburger, like that, it's great when you're sober. It's great when you're really drunk. Like
Yeah.
it's just solid.
The ad guy for Whataburger really puts it over the edge for me.
What a burger!
And here's what I like about Whataburger is that
24 hours, baby.
the way they standardly serve their burgers. Most of the time, I feel like I have to customize it the way because I like mustard on my burgers. Mustard
That's
comes
disgusting.
on
You should leave.
their burgers. They have chopped onions on their burgers. Love chopped onions on on my burgers.
We don't get
Pickles. Oh man, that's how I like my burgers, man.
cheese, mayo. Done.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
weird.
Jason, I'm
So
gonna be
weird.
honest. When it comes to food,
I'm the weird when I get it.
When it comes to
Let's
food,
move on.
but you and Rob don't get an opinion.
Yeah,
here.
we should.
It-
Yeah, you
that's
do
a-
not
that's-
qualify. to
I
have
That's a
an
Brandon and I debate only.
I haven't changed my eating pattern since I was 4.5.
Yeah.
So
opinion. Yeah. What you
love
got?
mac and cheese.
All
you
right,
got?
so we got I've actually got two kind of Thanksgiving-ish ones, but
Ooh, topical.
so
Relevant.
the
the month.
better ham, honey ham, or the actor John Ham.
Oh, you're going Hamadou Diallo. That seemed like a perfect opportunity to go Hamadou Diallo.
But that's
I love that you didn't do it.
But that's Hamadou.
But you
Diallo.
could have twisted it.
I like that you didn't do
All
it.
right.
That's the best.
Gosh, I wasn't expecting that. So
Honey
we're going.
Ham is really good.
We're going
but
actor
also,
John
I,
Hamm?
Or
I
Honey
love
Ham.
Mad Men.
Honey
Man,
Ham. This
Man.
is no Honey Ham. I mean, it's not even close for me.
I'll go John Hamm just because I like Mad Men.
John Ham.
So if
It's a great show.
I put you in this room right now, we didn't have anything.
And I had to
going on,
either
and I had a
eat John
fresh.
Hamm.
I had a fresh Honey Ham in there, or I had the newest John Hamm movie ready to fire up. What do you
Well, I don't give a fuck about his new movie, but if you had Mad Men ready, I'd watch that.
instead of the ham?
Yeah.
I go for the ham every
You're just
time.
gonna watch the ham? You gotta eat it.
Not a big ham guy.
Really?
Yeah, no.
I'm going for that turkey, bro.
I prefer turkey, and I'm pissed off when you serve ham over something else.
What do you mean? You mean like if it's like the main dish? Is
God.
that, or you mean like?
My fiance's family always does
Oh no! Yeah.
ham
Oh,
on.
this is turning into a therapy
Always does
session.
ham on Easter, and it pisses me off because I don't like
why
ham
does
that
it-
much.
Why does it upset you though, Justin?
Because I don't like ham that much.
I
I've never
love
been a big
ham.
fan of ham.
I thought there was maybe something deeper there.
No.
Just you don't like him. Okay.
You'll be hard pressed to find a food that I'm not like. Oh, I love that though. Love all kinds.
Can
All
I
right.
can I throw in my other Thanksgiving one, by the way?
Yeah,
it's
let's
another food
Yeah,
thing.
do
get
a
it out
twofer.
there.
So better turkey, bowling or jive?
Bowling.
Bowling.
No,
Like-
that feels so good to
It's
get
amazing.
three strikes
it's
in a
a
row.
great feeling.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I've only done it like twice.
Oh, I've had
maybe.
it so many. No.
Yeah.
Jive turkey is an incredible insult, though, which I feel has lost popularity.
Yeah.
It needs to come back.
Yeah, that one's not. You don't hear it too often.
It
so
needs to come back.
It's more rare than the bowling turkey, even amongst the common man.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe that does make it the greater turkey. Wait, you got another one?
I've got several. Let's go better park. South or and Rec. So South Park or Parks and Rec.
South Park.
Ooh.
Well, I'm going Parks and Rec here.
I think
Love that show.
I think I go Parks and Rec too.
South Park is very good.
South Park, at its best, is better, but consistency, Parks and Rec, to me.
I just got done rewatching all of Parks and Rec. And
Creativity wise, though, man, it's hard to beat South Park. You get, I love what they do,
and just longevity there is impressive.
Yeah,
They've been
so
going
impressive.
for a while.
South Park started in what, like 97?
I remember watching the first episode.
especially
I watched
especially when you watch it and you're like, how is this still on?
And
how
is
did they
it
get away
still,
with this
also,
shit?
how is it still good?
Yeah, that
like
too.
it blows my mind. I'll randomly see an episode. I'm like, this is hilarious still.
Hard to do.
They're so topical. Also, the last line of the little intro screen, it should not be viewed by anyone.
Nice fun fact. All right, here's one. Better hunting, deer hunting, or let's just make that hunting
Are you gonna go Goodwill?
or Goodwill hunting.
Goodwill hunting. 100%. Never been deer hunting. Don't even want to go.
I've never been hunting ever either.
Any capacity?
You seem like you've been hunting.
Actually, I have not.
Wow. None of us have been hunting.
Dude,
Manny,
I'm a
hunting?
city boy.
We're from here. How have we not?
Okay, the whole Sasakwa thing.
It's surprising, right?
Yeah, that's more. I've grown. I'm a
Literally,
sheltered
there's a
city
deer
boy.
stand in my dad's land I could just like go to, but I've never done
Let's
it.
go.
I don't want to
Let's
just
just
kill
go
a
and-
deer. I feel bad.
I don't want to.
Does shooting koi pigeons with a shotgun count?
No, that's
No.
fun. That's a
That
good
is
time.
cool.
Yeah,
that's
sounds-
a good
that's a lot of fun.
That sounds better than
It's
Goodwill
nice.
hunting. Were you hunting
I
clay
don't know.
pigeons?
I don't know. Goodwill hunting's real.
A little long. A little long. But it is a great
We
movie.
turned into a critique of Goodwill hunting. podcast.
Very good movie, though.
It's not your fault.
Oh, dude, don't make me cry right now. I don't want to cry right now. I will.
Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Not you. Better locker room dysfunction. Last year's Spurs or this year's Timberwolves?
Ooh.
You guys
I'm
weren't
gonna go
expecting this one from
this
me.
year's Timbies. I love
Yeah, I
the
think
Jimmy Butler saga. It is fun, but Kawhi Leonard was just weird.
Yeah. Well, so the weird thing is last year with the Spurs, it still seems so behind the curtain. Like, it
Yeah,
just
they
kind of
hit
peeked,
it well.
It peeked its head out here and there, and it never felt like you could really believe everything you heard, or you didn't know
Yeah.
what to believe. With this stuff,
Like
it
everything
seems
was
pretty
just
straightforward.
Everything was just coming from Kawhi's uncle, oddly, and everyone's like, "Who the fuck is
Yeah.
even this guy?" No one even knows him.
And there's a side story involved now too that Jimmy Butler ripping his own teammates, Wiggins, Towns, talking about whatever he said about them. I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't remember them verbatim, but Towns just looks like he's caving to it, and he's proving everything that he said correctly, and Towns just, wow, does Towns actually not have it? Towns is so good, he's so talented, man, but does he just not have it?
Kind of not.
Yeah, it
maybe.
kinda seems like
maybe.
it-
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the thing.
But I just like that. I want Jimmy to win in this situation. For some reason, I just really like him.
I like Jimmy Butler too. He looks cool, I think.
Yeah, he
He
does
looks
look
kind of
cool.
like a totem pole, but he's cool.
I'm okay with
Like
him
if a totem
destro-
pole was a person.
I've just never heard that analogy of a person.
That's what he looks like. That's it. Yeah.
I'm okay with him destroying that franchise.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm for it. And they're not doing well either.
No, they're not.
Mm-mm.
Who's next? I have more.
Yeah,
I
yes,
have-
go
I have-
ahead.
Oh yeah, Jason has a ton.
Okay.
got
Let's
8.
go. Better Dre, Doctor, or Roberson.
Andre Roberson all day.
I
Don't
gotta-
at me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I never was a huge Dr. Dre fan. I never didn't like him, but he was just always kind of like,
So,
he's all right.
if you're talking about Dre as a rapper, I'm going Roberson.
That's
Dre as
fair.
a producer,
He
You
is
have-
a really
he's
good
got the
producer.
edge there.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
He's probably better at what
He's
he does.
super
huh?
good at it.
All right,
Super
I
good
think
at
we
it.
have to go Dr. Dre. We can't
Yeah.
forget about him.
Just as a producer. His rapping, he always kind of says the same, like 4 lines. But
Better beef, grass-fed, or Kyrie versus Jamal Murray.
grass fed because I have no idea what you're talking about.
So the other night,
was that okay? That's the throwing the ball thing.
Yeah.
All I knew is that he got the fine, but I had no idea what was going on.
Jamal Murray had 48 points. It was the last second of a
I
game
saw
they
that,
were
yeah.
winning, and he fired up at 3 at the last second to try to get 50. Kyrie, not happy with it, went on, proceeded over the next few days, didn't stop talking about it. Like, can't let it go. Kind of interesting.
I'm gonna go grass fed because
Hamburgers?
I love burgers
Uh-huh.
just I love eating
Steakums.
steak and all of those things. And Murray kind of apologized for it, so it feels like it kind of went away.
I want to get one more out here before we move on to you guys's, because we haven't talked a lot about this, and it'll be interesting to see what you think. Better uniform, the Thunder statement or the city jerseys of the Thunders?
Statement, yeah.
Still the statement?
Yeah.
Look,
It's the best jersey they've ever had.
I agree.
I think I'm kind of out here by myself, like amongst all of us. I love the new city jerseys. I am all for them.
I would love the idea of them.
But the statement jerseys are some of the most incredible uniforms that I've ever seen on any team that I've ever liked or disliked or whatever. Those are those statement jerseys. Seriously, like probably top 3 jerseys of all time for me.
Yeah, I love them.
I love
in
them
all
too.
sports.
And what is cool about the city jerseys is that they're getting love universally. Like, it's not just Thunder fans.
No, they
like,
got an A on a city jersey ranking thing from that
saw
one
that.
fella.
I've seen a lot of blogs and stuff that have said we really like these jerseys.
They look good.
What else you got? Give us your best one.
My best one.
Your favorite one.
This isn't the best one. Better bald one. Not what you're
Baldwin?
gonna think.
Okay.
Daniel or Steven?
Oh no.
Wait, which is the one that's actually an actor and which is the one?
They're
that
all
doesn't-
actors.
No one knows who.
Right, but there's
which
one-
is which.
There's one that's more of an actor and there's one that just doesn't matter.
Steven is the better one here.
Okay.
He was in both Biodome and Half Baked, so he wins.
Yeah, it is Steven.
I'll just
Does-
take your word for that one.
Does Alex still breastfeed the two of them?
Probably.
Ooh.
Should. That's for sure. You got any more?
Yeah, I've got a few more. I mean, some of them are terrible. So,
What's
So
your
are mine.
favorite? What's your favorite?
well, let's go with this one. Better Dwight Howard or Schrute?
Schrute.
Schrute.
Yeah,
It's not even close.
yeah, because Dwight Howard's terrible. I really just want to get this one in because I hate Dwight Howard so much.
I've got a better Lamar, Odom, or Kendrick.
Oh, it's
by
Kendrick.
far.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
I thought you were going to go Lamar advertising.
no.
Billboards?
He just had a 1,000-yard stare there. Like, what?
I knew what you were talking about.
You were just dumbfounded.
Better-
Better Hut. Pizza Hut or Sunglass Hut?
I'm gonna go pizza because I don't wear sunglasses.
That's weird. You should
What?
protect your eyes.
Wait, hold on. I'm not even
Probably
gonna.
why I have to make the text so big on stuff.
I'm gonna delay answering this one. You don't wear sunglasses?
Just often. Like I will.
Dude,
from time to time.
you have blue-eyed people are more susceptible to light. That's all, actually.
I did not know any
Random
of
thing.
this.
You know,
I
I've
didn't
got,
either.
I've got a random thing that I'm not even going to say because it's about baseball.
About to
Who
get
cares?
cancer?
No.
Is that what's gonna happen?
No.
Son of a bitch.
Outfielders are actually.
Oh my god.
Outfielders are actually graded lower if they have blue eyes versus brown eyes because brown-eyed people are actually like less susceptible to light affecting their eyes. But dude, like if you have blue eyes, you should be wearing sunglasses all the time. If it's sunny,
Right now?
put on some sunglasses. It's
Rip
not,
him off his head.
it's not sunny. Hut.
feels a little sunny.
Mr. The Wash, better flopper. Harden or CP3. This is
Ooh.
Mr. The Wash from YouTube.
Chris Paul.
I think it's Chris Paul.
Chris
But
Paul.
okay, so are we talking better flopper as far as skill goes? Like who sells it better, or are we talking like who's more extravagant in their flopping?
That's hard because if you're going who sells it better, I'd probably lean Harden
I
because he
think
gets
Harden
the more
sells
calls.
it better. Chris Paul's
But-
more ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the opposite. I think Chris Paul because I think so when Harden sells it, I think he actually draws some contact but embellishes.
Yeah.
Chris Paul could just stand there like 5 feet from someone and act like he got shot by a sniper rifle
Which
and
he
still draw a
should.
foul somehow.
No offense.
Last one, another food one. Another one from Rob also. Better taco. Fast food. This is all fast food. There's 3 of them here. Taco Bell, Taco Mayo, or Taco Bueno.
Bell.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Bell because I eat it more. But you're saying better taco, like the actual better taco.
Let's edit this to be the best one of these 3.
I'll just go Bell because I.
But
end
mine's
up
gonna be the
eating
same
more.
answer regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bell. I do.
But I love all three of these places so
Taco
much.
Mayo. It's not
Also-
close. It's not close.
Yeah, no, it's
Taco
good. It's very-
Oklahoma. It's an Oklahoma-based chain.
Also, Bueno filing for bankruptcy, you
yes,
guys.
they are.
That's right.
Very sad news.
Heard that. Yeah.
Ruined my life
Not
the other
bueno. It's no bueno.
day. Hey,
For them. More like
got 'em.
taco no bueno.
Boo.
Better house, IHOP
Do you think
or
when you
waffle.
go hold on? Do you think when you go to the drive-thru, we're gonna taco no bueno?
No.
We're bankrupt.
No.
No?
Get out of here.
Okay. What's your last one? Go for
Taco Chapter 9.
Well, I said better house, IHOP or waffle.
it.
Waffle.
Ooh. Honestly, I think I've only eaten at Waffle House once, so
You
I don't
haven't
know.
lived.
It's
You have
he's
not
been
lived.
there. He's been there, so he's
No,
lived.
he's only
He
been
lived
there
them
once.
I mean, how
I prefer
often?
to go on an IHOP.
How often does your meal come out with a hair in it?
Never.
Almost all the time.
Huh.
Never.
Those are
I'm
conflicting.
also very drunk when I go to Waffle
See,
House.
he
Yeah.
didn't notice the hair. I'm subtly drunk.
I don't like.
IHOP is pretentious.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like IHOPs though. It's so bright in there. And like
They
Waffle
did the
House
IHOP
seems.
thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, yeah, fuck them.
I don't like IHOP.
Waffle House it is.
I wouldn't go to either of them, to be honest.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. No, just go to Whataburger and get their breakfast after
That
11 p.m.
also.
How about that?
Honey butter biscuit.
Let's what do we have next? We have social media inquiries.
inquiries?
Let's do this.
Social media inquiries.
Back to the real stuff, huh?
Yeah, we're getting back to actual basketball.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss going tweet, 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 tweet.
Ooh,
we can
that
still
was
do it.
fun. Hey, just real quick before we get to these, are you more productive or less productive the day after a Big Thunder win? We got the poll up, 122 votes, 70%
I
more
think you read
productive.
that. I think that says 12,000 votes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah. There's
12,000.
zero.
No, that's
That was-
there's another set of is 12 million.
12.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, we're international, bros.
I like
Yeah.
this. No, but 70% more productive.
Wow.
30% are less productive.
Interesting.
Which the math works out there.
Because I think I'm with you. I think I'm less productive.
Yeah. So most people are not like us. Good job, guys.
So
I get it.
Way to go out there after a win and win yourself.
right, that would mean
You know?
that it's affecting their lives in a positive way, where it's actually putting an ease to them. Like
Yeah,
it's
it like
just
made their day
settling them
better.
down. Which is dangerous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because if you're not productive after a loss, sometimes.
Or like, what happens when this team goes in the shitter?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, I will say so from one of our UK fans, like at Mavs, like he.
How many A's?
There's a lot of A's.
Okay.
He was saying like because of the time difference, like when the Thunder win, it makes it so much easier the next day. Like whereas when they play so terrible that they lose, like it kind of ruins his next day. So I totally get it, especially from an international standpoint.
Makes sense. What we got?
From Danny Rodero at Danny_Rodero, is it the first time Melo helps the Thunder win? Kidding, I love Melo. Great guy.
Didn't hear it.
Was it the first time Melo has helped the Thunder win?
No,
he's had
not
moments.
the first time,
He's
but it
had
was
moments.
It's
the
a
largest
joke.
help.
It was his best game.
Yeah.
At the
It's a
Thunder.
joke.
I like it.
Let's see.
I like it.
I like it. Human music. From JC Stevens at the second best JC. I'm actually curious as to who the first one is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Thunder haven't lost since Westbrook said he'd make sure we pick things up. Coincidence or Russ's leadership in action?
Number one, I'm pretty sure the first JC is going to be Jesus Christ. Number two,
Oh.
that seems obvious. That seems like an obvious one. Number two,
whoops.
yeah, that's a good one though. The Thunder haven't lost since Westbrook said that, since he said he wasn't worried. And I remember thinking when he said that, I was like, that's a little too cocky.
This is an Aaron Rodgers relax moment.
Yeah, and boom, nailed it.
Works every time.
That's my quarterback.
60% of the time.
That's my quarterback.
You gotta cry when you say that, by the way.
I need sunglasses too. What we got?
From OKC Thunderama at OKC Thunderama. If this continues, does the Schröder trade go down as one of of Presti's best, if not the best?
You know,
up there.
I really like this question because it kind of makes you think. Like
Yeah.
it really could. It honestly could, because he was in a tough spot with the Melo thing. Like that is his options were very limited, and that he's able to pull that off. If this Schröder thing really works out and he turns out to be this luxury piece that no one else in the NBA has,
Right.
And he's this piece that helps the Thunder win a series or whatever ends up happening. Man, you could really make a case it is. Presti's made some great trades in the past, but this seems like one of those, like, you got a lot of value for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's Which I guess the Paul George trade, people are on the fence about it just because of how well Vic and
Right.
Domas are doing. But
Did you forget his last name?
yeah,
Sabonis.
I was trying to say them both at the same time. Didn't work out. But I mean, it's a really great deal because of what you got rid of.
Yeah.
You know, and
Exactly.
Like you got rid of that stagnant
No one
money
thought
that
he was
we
going to
were-
be able to get rid of that.
Yeah, we were all looking at it being a stretch situation with Melo's money and just
Yeah.
being in a disaster for the next few years.
Yep.
So not only like looking at what we got in Dennis Schröder, but after that Rockets game, oh man, it makes that trade look even better
Sure
because
does.
clearly like that
We have the better player.
that decline was real.
Yeah, I mean, like if you went to the Rockets right now and said, "Hey, do you guys want to? We'll give you Schröder for Melo." What do you think they do? They're saying, "Yeah,
Yeah.
give me Schröder."
Oh, how,
100%,
how much
thanks.
money do you want
Like-
us to send your way just to make this deal happen?
right, exactly.
Oh, right.
Great guy.
He's a
Great
great guy. He is a great guy.
I really, really like this question.
Ooh.
From Karen or Karan, I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure how
Say
you
it
want
right.
to pronounce
You know?
I mean,
That's what I always did.
It's AN, so I'm not sure.
Be respectful.
From @RustPG2020. Really, guys? Which teams have the worst fan bases? I think it's a tie between Golden State and the Rockets. Who are your top 5?
Golden State's the easy one, right? Top 5 might be hard to do. Golden State's easy to put up there because of like, are they even real? Rockets, they can be bad. Lakers are bad.
I'm gonna go LeBron
Lakers are real
stands.
bad.
Yeah,
Those are rough.
yeah. The Kobe ones might be worse.
I like Kobe though. Hey, you talking to me?
Seattle Supersonics.
Oh, that's touchy.
Yeah, I think Lakers fans
Stop
might
being
take the
mad
cake
at
for
us.
me because they kind of always have this sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
weird, and it's like they think that they're so much better than they are, and then when things don't go their way, the way they behave is just incredible.
I just remember talking to a Lakers fan who clearly wasn't really like, didn't ever watch basketball.
Yeah.
Because he thought like Melo like 4 years ago was better than Russ. And it was like the year before he won the MVP or something like that. And I was just like, you're out of your mind. Like, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, Lakers fans are delusional.
Yeah.
They're consistently.
And it wasn't even
delusional.
for like their guy. It was weird.
Other than that, I don't know that I have a lot of problems with any other fan bases.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
Maybe the Heat are bad. They're just kind of
like
bad
if you're
fans.
on Reddit, Rockets fans are pretty
yeah.
they're rough.
To
Yeah.
Rockets, especially the wishing ill on Russell Westbrook when he got hurt. Like some of those things.
That was just shitty.
Oh, that's being a terrible human being, and that's not acceptable ever, ever, ever. Do not, if you're out there and you think like good things when like James Harden like rolls his ankle or whatever, and you want him to be hurt, you are a terrible human being.
Yeah.
Reevaluate everything.
And another one that maybe just because we've been too close to the situation, but the Jazz fans are kind of insufferable
Oh
sometimes.
god, yeah, especially because they're good for 1 year and they think they've won like 5 NBA championships.
Which actually,
in a
Zach,
row.
like,
Which you have to give it up to them because they're just like, "Oh, our goal is to get out of the first round, baby."
which I mean, Zach Lowe and a couple other national writers have talked about how Jazz fans, like, if you don't talk about them,
Yeah.
at least like every other article or something, they get all pissed off.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They feel.
I don't pay attention to them ever
They feel like they don't get the.
because they need to
They
change
always
their team
feel
name.
like they don't get the respect they deserve.
They don't
or
have
whatever.
any Jazz in Utah. It doesn't make any sense.
You know what big city is weirdly like decent fan base? The Knicks.
Yeah.
Because
Well-
they've figured out, like, well, no, but they're still diehards, but they also know, like,
Right.
we suck.
They know what's happening.
There's a lot of respect in that situation.
Yep.
Also
No, I
helps
like
being
that.
a Rangers fan. So.
I agree.
From Raul Shamgarlain at P_Funk35 36. 36, sorry.
Oh, how good's your reading?
My left contact is messed up. I need to change it out.
Close that eyelid.
Is Nerlens Noel the best backup 5 OKC has ever had?
Yeah.
I think his anchoring of the middle with the bench lineups is a big reason for some of the success during this win streak.
Man, I think it'd be tough to pick one out that's better.
Steven Adams was pretty good when he was a backup, but
Yeah, I mean that might be your best bet, but I don't know if you watch Noel and the way he impacts the game when he comes in. He had 4 blocks last night? 3 blocks or 4 blocks in 16 minutes. 3 blocks in 16 minutes. And I think he had 4 blocks in the Cavs game. his hands are everywhere. You see when guys try to post him up, he
Doesn't work.
reaches around the back of him and he just pokes the ball out almost every time.
Gives him a little reach around.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
I would like to see them. I would like to see them put Noel in better positions to succeed on the offensive end.
Yeah.
I think that'll help when Russ is back for sure. Obviously, you know, when he's playing with Raymond Felton,
It just doesn't work.
that's not.
That's
helping
got to
us
be
get-
such a bummer.
I don't think that. Yeah, I think that he's easily the best backup 5 the Thunder have ever had.
I agree. From our Aussie boy Clint at 7899. With Billy seemingly getting his rotations right and the players he wants to use in such lineups, do we try to package Nader and TLC to get some end-of-bench scoring and promote Burton to the roster, or leave it as it is?
You get a bag of chips and a soda back.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can get. I mean, I think that there's potential for that happening down the road, like closer to the trade deadline, where they do look to trade these guys, but the team's not exactly helping their value right now, and when they've come in the game, you don't get any look at them, and they're not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like, who are they? We don't even know at this point. It's
They both
actually
missed a shot last night or something, or maybe TLC just passed out of his shot to a Nader miss. I
That
think.
was it.
That's what it was.
It was that Nader corner 3.
Didn't look great.
yeah. So I don't know. I think you kind of stand pat right now and leave the. I mean, those guys are insurance right now.
Yeah, like if you needed them,
Yeah.
they're there.
Leave it be. They're there.
You've
They're
still,
there.
you've still got that
there.
open roster spot, too, which I think is really important,
I agree.
which obviously the Thunder have always really, really valued.
Mm-hmm.
And our last one here, as I pull it up, as it loads, from Matt McChicken, or at
got a
Cody
McChicken in his
McChicken
name.
_, at Cody McChicken _ Do we still want to bring in a Kyle Korver, considering it will most likely, knock Hammy out of the rotation and may reduce Abrinas' minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you do it.
Yeah, I do too. Like, if you have an opportunity to get him for basically nothing, a second
you're
round
one of
pick
the-
and a trade exception or whatever, like I've said on here before, yeah, you got to. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a guy that what he brings to the table helps your team.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not good at shooting and you can bring in a guy like Kyle Korver, of course you do that.
And if he doesn't work out, if you put
Yeah.
him in and he just can't ever find a groove and he proves to suck, and
Sit his ass down.
Yeah, you don't have to play him. You still have Diallo. I mean, you definitely don't give up Diallo in a trade for Kyle Korver.
No, don't do that.
Never do that. But yeah,
That all of them?
that's all of them. Time for some news.
Notes!
Russell Westbrook
He's a
named
guy.
Heard of him?
Western Conference Player of the Week last week. Congrats to Russ. He earned that one, boys. Man,
They're pretty good, huh?
God, I love Russ.
He's
Love
the
him.
best.
The league and the union have agreed to televise the NBA All-Star Draft in late January. You excited about this?
I mean, it's cooler than last year where they didn't, but
A lot of people are really excited about this, and I have a feeling it's just going to be a huge flop and kind of
it's
like
gonna
be
kind of be like
lame.
All-Star Weekend where you're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah,
to
but
myself?
worse. I'm trying to think of.
'Cause there's
It's
no
going to be like
basketball.
watching the draft lottery, where you watch that and you're like, oh, this is terribly
Ooh,
boring.
yeah, you
Ooh, ping pong balls.
Yeah.
neat.
Steven Adams is one of only 5 players in NBA history to record 3,500 points, 2,700 rebounds in 400 games with a 58% field goal percentage. Very specific, but pretty cool.
That's a bad son bitch right there.
Remember, pretty cool?
That's how you know. It's
I
'cause
bet
of
he
that
can
stat.
out-eat any of the guys on the rest of that list, too.
Probably true. At what point does his eating catch up with him?
Never.
I don't know, probably 40s.
Wow, that's late.
I think he's just going to have
I
so
ju-
much.
Mine hit
The
me at
locomotive
23.
is going so fast that I think he can eat whatever he wants to until his 40s.
I wonder
A
if
lot of burning there.
when he gets closer to his 30s, if he's gonna have to like start watching it a little more than he's had to. You know, just because
See,
like
right now it's almost like just fueling the coal furnace or whatever.
Yeah.
You're just tossing it in there.
Have you seen the
that
guy?
how that works?
Have you seen the
he's
guy?
like a video game where you eat things and it improves your strength.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it
He
works
just like
for
finds
him.
a whole chicken and it's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm better now.
Plus one strength. Have you seen the guy work for offensive rebounds? He's got some calories to burn. He can
Yeah.
eat whatever he wants to.
That's true. What am I here? Carmelo Anthony's 1 for 11 performance versus the Thunder last night was his second worst field goal percentage in a game in which he attempted more than 10 shots in his entire career.
And one didn't even go
Because it was a goaltend.
God, that poor fella.
Love you,
in. Great
bud.
guy, though.
just want to say that.
Thoughts and prayers to Mello.
And last, Thunder assigned Abdul Nader to the Blue yesterday. Then they recalled him 5 hours later. Then they sent him down again today.
It's gotta be confusing.
What a wild ride for Abdul. Him and TLC, are they just no good, very bad players?
I think that might be about right.
It'll be interesting. There'll be
a time they're gonna play.
I agree. I think there's going to be a time that we see one of them, and I bet it's TLC, get out on the court for some meaningful minutes, and they give him a chance. It's going to be interesting what that's
I think he's gonna get a layup in that game.
Are you guys surprised that neither of them have had any run?
TLC, yes.
Yeah, I mean, before the season started, I definitely thought they were gonna get something like a look.
Yeah.
But
a lot more than Hami did. But
at the same time, considering what Diallo's done,
Right.
It's hard not to be like. It's kind of hard to be surprised at this point because he's been so excellent.
Last but not least, Westbrook is listed as out versus Dallas tomorrow, which, according to multiple people, the Thunder didn't practice today. So,
they deserve that.
yeah, I mean, coming off a back-to-back,
You'd think that would happen.
I think that they don't want to play Westbrook until he gets a full practice under his belt. They want to see what he has. You can't. I mean, you don't want to just throw him out there.
Yeah, and just be
recklessly,
like, here you go.
How does Monday feel for you guys?
I would bet that would be the one. If they practice Sunday, I would bet that would be the one. All right, we got basketballs here.
All right.
Here's basketballs. Each week we go to the basketballs and we each draw a team. Whatever that team's record is during that time
Do I go first?
is attributed to our name. Let me go ahead and explain this. We are done with a month, so we have month rotations here. I've lost. If any of you, I had the Knicks for like 3 weeks.
Thanks to the New York Knicks.
Yeah, it was horrible. So what we do is we combine all our records for the month. Whoever loses has to pay off a punishment. That's going to be me coming. This is the start to a new month here. You get
right.
2 draws. You can go ahead, Jason. You can have that first
I need
draw.
you to swirl them around for me.
I got it, because if you win, you get the draw first.
That's right.
Which
I won the whole month.
You won, and you get 2 draws. If you don't like your first draw, you can put it back and pick again. But you have to stick with that second one. You got the Lakers.
The Lakers can toss that right back in there.
Really?
Yeah.
All
They
right.
have LeBron, bro.
Yeah, I don't care about him.
Wow, that's a bold move putting back the Lakers. I mean,
Bold move, Cotton.
all right, what you got
He's
next?
still the best player in the league.
Probably something worse. Ooh, it's way worse.
Oh no!
The Hawks.
Oh, yeah!
Oh no! Everybody hates me because my luck was so
You want to
good.
draw for Rob?
I guess. I don't know if he
Or
wants to.
Justin got next.
Yeah, I was
Justin.
gonna say I should go
Yep.
next. Yep.
That's correct. I was just
That
testing
is
you.
correct.
Man, I'm so happy. You were right though, Jason.
My
Good
luck
luck.
is
Good
going
luck
from
right
here.
now. Justin's first draw.
No, that's correct.
He's rummaging.
Charlotte Hornets.
Ooh, they
He's
were
putting
back so fast. Why did I do that?
I don't trust Eastern Conference.
Second draw.
You want to swap with this one, Justy?
Oh, I'll take the Lakers.
He got the Lakers. You draw for Rob. So now Rob, not here.
Does someone have him on speed dial there?
Sure don't.
Ow.
Yeah, we'll see if he's around, but may not be.
Corn got in the way. See, this is how you do it, Jason. I'm looking at the bucket itself.
And Rob's first ball. The
He's
Warriors.
taking it.
Yeah, he's gonna take the Warriors. That's the second time he's drawn the Warriors.
Swap with
Hey,
them.
Rob,
Swap with them.
Yeah, but I
Rob,
don't think
you're
the swap
welcome.
ball. I don't think the swap ball made the cut, right?
Oh. Yeah, you're right. It didn't.
You're welcome, Rob.
I can't grab a ball. All right.
Yeah, that mitt.
The Cavs. Go ahead and throw that one back.
He's the backboard.
Just throw that out in the hallway.
Yeah. No one wants that.
And the Nuggets. I will take
Ooh,
that one.
that's a good pick.
Ooh,
Finally
solid.
had some luck. Man, I was just drawing bad balls
Haha.
all
Balls.
month last month. So to recap, Jason's got the Hawks over there.
Whoops.
Bad news. Justin, you got the Lakers. Manny/Rob has the Warriors. I got the Nuggets. Me and Manny are in good shape over here, hopefully. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. This was a lot of fun.
I agree.
It's fun after a Thunder win, huh?
I had a great time.
Thanks to Scissors and Scotch. Thanks to Opolis for supporting what we do. Thunder go to Dallas tomorrow. We got
Right.
an Aftershock afterwards. Suns come to town on Monday, an Aftershock after that. Knicks next Wednesday, and then a full pod Thursday. Guys, the schedule, pretty easy.
Yeah.
What-
Hoping for some more wins.
I'm a little worried about the Dallas game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Thunder just don't play well in Dallas. But if they get past that game, man, it should be smooth sailing.
Hope so.
Should be. Get us out of here, Justin.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
Oh.
Thunder up.